Today we are talking about my very exciting December TBR. Hey guys, my name is Lauren and welcome to my channel. And first things first, I need to tell you that I am participating in the Reindeer Readathon that was announced earlier in November by Break Even Books, and I will link their channel below. I am on Team Snowflake led by Melted Books, and I will also link their channel below. But to kind of tell you a little bit about the readathon, it is based on Santa's reindeer, and for each of his reindeer there is a prompt. So I'm going to go through the prompts and tell you which books I chose for that prompt, and I'm so excited. This is my first readathon that I'll be participating in since I started my booktube channel, so I'm really excited to kind of get some new book friends and just kind of discuss the books that we've picked. And there's also a group read, and I'm definitely excited about that because of the book and because we're going to kind of all be reading it together as a buddy read, and we'll get to kind of discuss our thoughts throughout. But let's jump into the TBR. So for the first of Santa's reindeer, we have Dasher, and this is for a book with a one-word title. And the book with a one-word title that I chose was Legendborn by Tracy Deonn, and I'm so excited about this one. It's been everywhere. We've seen it. Everyone's loving it, and so I can't wait to get into it, and I just recently hauled this one. But it is about a girl who goes to an early college program, and she discovers some descendants of Arthur's Round Table, and they are called Legendborns, and there's some kind of fantasy. It's kind of an urban fantasy, I think, and there's also a mystery surrounding her mother's death, which turns out to be not what she expected. So I'm definitely excited to get into this one, and it's kind of a thicker book, but I guess it's supposed to be really fast, and I think it's actually a YA, but I've heard that it reads a little older, so looking forward to this one. And the next one is Dancer, which is a companion novel or a sequel to a series that you're already in, and I'm going to be reading A Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson, which is the third in the Truly Devious series. And I have been flying through this series. I've listened to the first two mostly on audiobook, and I finished the second one, actually, The Vanishing Stair, in one day at work listening to the audiobook. They're so addictive, and you just kind of get sucked into this mystery, and I've really been enjoying it, and I can't wait to pick up the next one. And then we have Prancer, which is a book with a map, and I am going to be reading Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare, and there's actually a map in the beginning of the book. This is the third in a series, so I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I'm looking forward to getting into this one as well. And the next one is Vixen, which is a book with a fox, or for a slightly less point value, you could read a book with a strong female lead, but I wanted to go all out and give my team as much points as I could, so I picked the fox prompt, and I'm going to read Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. And I kind of waffled on this a little bit because I'm going to be kind of in the middle of so many series that I wasn't sure if I wanted to start another one. But this is pretty much the only one I had and that I could think of to fill this prompt, and I'm actually looking forward to it. I know a lot of people have loved this one, but it follows a girl who is a gumiho, which is a nine-tailed fox, and she has to eat the souls of men, but she comes across a young boy that she likes, and she actually saves him, and it kind of follows that, a forbidden romance. So that sounds interesting to me. And the next one is Comet, which is a book that you find intimidating, and I chose Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I know that a lot of Kristen Hanna's books are very historical fiction-like, and this is actually a thicker book, so it's a little intimidating to me because I know that this is more of a contemporary read instead of like a fantastical or romance read, but I've really wanted to get into Kristen Hanna's writing. I know that a lot of people really enjoy it, so I'm really eager to get into this one, although I'm still a little scared. And then we have Cupid, which is to read a genre you love, and romance is the genre that I have read the most. It is the genre that I enjoy. It just helps me clear my mind, and I just love it. So I'm going to be reading The Roommate by Soraya Wilson, and this is about a girl who wants to get out of the shadow of her family's wealth and kind of make her own path. And so she's a teacher, but on her teacher's salary, she doesn't quite make enough money to live on her own, so she decides she needs a roommate and to stop living on her coworkers' couches. And so she puts out an ad to become a roommate with a fellow rich kid who she basically just has to help maintain his household, and she gets free room and board, and it turns into a romance. This was an Amazon First Reads pick that I got, and it was marketed as a romantic comedy, and it sounds just like that. It just sounds perfect. So I'm looking forward to this one. This is probably one of the ones that I'm most looking forward to. And the next one is Donner, which is a book with something hidden, and that could be something under the dust jacket, that could be chapter headings, or just something cool inside the book that is just kind of hidden within. But this one I actually was really excited about because I'm joining in on a read-along that Mel Reads is hosting, and it is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, and I had picked this up to put it in this TBR, and I wasn't exactly sure which one I was going to pick for this prompt, but I looked at this and I noticed that each of the chapter headings actually have thorns drawn within the pages, and I was like, this is perfect for this prompt, which is great, so I don't have to keep lengthening my TBR and making it more ambitious than I know that I could complete. So I'm looking forward to this one. I've been really looking forward to getting into some of Sarah J. Maas's books, and I know that Mel over at Mel Reads really loves these books, and I will link Mel's channel below as well. But she really loves Sarah J. Maas, and I'm excited to get into these with people who have already read it or are starting the series as well, and we can kind of discuss what we think up until the next book in this series is released. And the next prompt is Blitzen, which is a book with a struggle, and I chose The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, and I think that most people know what this is about, and obviously this is a book with a struggle within, but it talks about systemic racism and police brutality in this story, and I know that a lot of people have loved it, and I discovered it when I started diving into BookTube and seeing what other people were reading, and this one really sounds empowering, and I'm really looking forward to finally reading this. And the next one is Rudolph, everyone's favorite reindeer with the shiny red nose, and it is to read a book with a main character who does not fit in. I will be reading One to Watch, which is a story about a woman who goes onto a bachelorette-esque show, and she does not fit in with the usual cast of the shows because she is plus size. And so it follows that story, and it is a bit of a romance, and I know that several people have enjoyed this, so I'm really looking forward to that one as well. And finally, for our group read, we are going to be reading the infamous The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. And if you don't know what this synopsis is, then I don't know where you've been, but this is about a girl who makes a deal with a sort of devil figure to live forever, but in return, everyone she ever meets will forget her. So I'm looking forward to this one because everyone's read it, and it's kind of either you love it or it's not your favorite at all type deal, but I'm looking forward to this one. It's my first V.E. Schwab, so maybe that will work more in the favor of that I will really enjoy it, but we will see. Well guys, that is all the books that I have on my December TBR, and I really hope that you will join us in the Reindeer Readathon. I will link all the info for that below, and I can't wait to get this thing started. But that is all for me for now, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye!